and that sucks. But we're gonna have to do what we can do for now. Hopefully, it doesn't die on me. But do you hate sin as God hates it? Do you detest it? Is it some ugly to you when you stumble and fall or yield to Satan's temptation in a moment of weakness? Do you immediately confess? I do. And it is not that I am very proud about when I sin. I definitely do not to I don't want anyone to think that, you know, I believe and I don't sin. No, sometimes Lucifer's very, very clever and he grabs hold of me, whatever way he can. Through the drinking, through the smoking, through the pornography. It's always something. It's always some of those three fashions that get me. And sometimes I sin. Now, it's a point because I see what sin has done to my life. I see what it's done to my relationships. I see what it's done to my career, which I have no career. Nothing. So it's definitely getting to that point, and I believe the Holy Spirit is working on me, and I just need to continue to do my part, and sometimes I fail. I am an honest sinner, and I will confess immediately after doing a sin. And it's not easy, but it's necessary. Are you an obedient servant? No, not really, to be completely honest. And these are questions that we need to really ask ourselves. And hereby, we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. The next verse says, he that said, I know him, I keep his is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Do we say that we are Christians? Do we maintain? This is a long paragraph, so I want to just kind of stop here because it's on the next page. Sometimes I have been a liar. I have made promises when I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to looking at porn. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing that. And I failed. But you want to know what's so amazing? It's that God's love and God's forgiveness and Jesus, the relationship I have with him, somehow he forgives me and watches me rise again this day and to try better. And I have failed him a lot of times. But you want to know who hasn't failed me? That's Jesus. Like last night, after the whole weekend of enough sinning, I don't need to bring the list up. I literally, when I was praying on my knees, I felt the conviction. But you want to know what else I felt after cussing and admitting that I was wrong for doing the things I did? I felt his love. I felt his grace. I felt his peace. And even didn't deserve it, and I said that numerous times. Even when I got into bed, I continued to pray and give him thanks. It's amazing, though. It's amazing. Praise. We're all sinners. We all deserve his love and his grace, but we still receive it. And I don't know why sometimes. I really don't. His love is incomparable. Do we maintain that we are God's children? Then we must prove it by our lives. Something I'm working on. Not mastered it at all yet. The law has said concerning the man who keeps his commandments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. But under Christ, the man who is by faith do his commandments. The person who is born of the Spirit will delight in obedience to the will of God. It doesn't mean that you are obedient in everything all the time. You should be, but in reality, there is only one who can say, do always those things that please him. The one the one Christ as Spirit will find springing up with him in a glorious love to do the will of God. Don't sit here, or there really. Don't sit there and think that, just because you cussed a couple hours ago or you smoked, don't think that God can't forgive you. Don't think that you cannot still God time and be more obedient, because at the end of the day, there was one that was obedient to God's law, and that was Jesus Christ, the only one to walk this earth and to be sinless. And the thing that I see a lot, and it hurts me when it happens to me, I see people judging people. Like, oh wow, this person shouldn't have done this. Like, shut up. Shut up. You are not perfect. You cuss. You listen to the sinful music. You are a materialist person. Da da da. The list goes down. And you want to judge someone just because you think that they're not living right? Get out of here. Get out of here. You're nobody is just as much as me when it comes down to sinning, because we all sin. And we all be better. We come together and stop judging one another and just put our confessions and our sin to light. Because if we come to the light, that's where Jesus is. And he can take us for who we are. And in time, especially with our doing and giving up our will, he will change our lives. I'm just the beginning. And it's only been 5 years. I don't want you to think when you become a Christian, or if you are a Christian very early in your stage, and remember, it's a journey. We're not going to change overnight. We're not going to blow like Drake overnight. We're not going to, for all the artists out there that are Christian artists, we're not going to have fortune and fame. We're not going to have all this change right away. I think when you become a Christian and you're with the Most High God, you expect to change overnight and you're supposed to have everything. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. It's a journey. It's a process, and we all need to understand. Are you separated from the world? No. I try to get separated as much as I can, but sometimes I get pulled back in. But we're working on it, right, God? Damn, connection. Internet connection is going crazy on this phone. It just shows that I need to get a new phone. Let me read this again, so right where I believe it left off. The love of the Father is not in him, if they make the world. For all that is in this world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, that's something that I need to work on. And the pride of life is not of the Father, but of this world. And the world passeth away, lust therefore. But he that does the will of God abide forever. And that's 1 chapter 2, verse 15, verse 7. Calls us to be separate. God calls to be a separate people. These words. Come out from among them, be ye separate. We are peculiar people, not, however, in the sense that we dress strangely or are, I don't know that word, are a chosen group. The moment you came to Christ, you were adopted into the family of God. The old things you used to love, you now hate. Things you used to hate, you now love. And that's so true. It's not an easy transition, because a part of you is going to think a certain way. You're going to have feelings for certain things and this and that. But it's like, it's hard. It really is hard. But the more and more you stay close to it, the more and more you get into the Word and articles and things like this. Stay busy for the Lord, and you'll see it. He'll open your eyes to certain things. And even though people are very, very deceiving and can do some crazy things, I still know. I might not say nothing, but I know. Are you anticipating in the coming of Christ? Woo! And right now. Behold, the manner of the love of the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knows, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it does not yet appear that we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that has hope in him purifies himself, even as he is pure. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1 through 3. The first coming of Christ is the greatest event in the world. At once it's the center of the two two entities. Yeah. The man springing in the clock of prophecy, around which resolves all the purposes of God. Today the world faces another crisis, Christ's second coming. The time he is coming not in humiliation, but in the glorification to receive from his sins his own blood brought children. Evidence abound that the time is almost here. Since Ascension's day, when the heavenly witness said, "This same Jesus shall so come in like a manner as he seen him go." The eyes of Christ have been turning him heavenward. They look for him and perhaps, as never before, expect him at any moment. So expect him. It's going to happen eventually. And he's going to come back for us. And be anytime soon. And it's something that I think about a lot. I think about more probably a lot of people. Because they get so busy in life. And it's understandable. I'm not judging you if you don't think about Christ's second coming. Or you don't see the end. But think about the end of the world. The world's been around for long. Who really knows how long? Oh God. So even the history books couldn't teach us this. And I think about the end. I think about it every day. I think about how beautiful this world really is and how people take it for granted and how it could be all gone. Very, very close. And it could be in a blink of an eye. The next 10, the end of the world could start. Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. But we got 2 more questions and then I'm going to close it out. And I hope everyone has a blessed week. And let's get it going. This is some really good stuff right here. Really looking forward to playing this back. And again, the greatest need among Christians today is love. Love your brethren. And then I'm in the second paragraph because we kind of had a glitch. Internet. The commandment that is laid upon us by Jesus Christ is that we love one another. Not that we should love one another as a husband loves his wife or as a mother loves her child. Oh no. Fear far deeper than that. Our love for each other should be comparable to God's love for us. Is your love like sounding brass and a tickling cymbal? I don't know what that means, but we're gonna go with it. You may know Greek and Hebrew. You may know church history, theology, whatever that means. But if you not love, it's profited you nothing. The kind of love that suffers, that is kind, that never envies, does not puff itself up, that never seeks its own, that is not easily provoked, that never does evil, that never takes joy in sin, that is always happy and thrilled with the truth is presented, that endures everything. Is this the kind of love you have? Work, and I hope that you're working on it as well. But these were some very, very interesting questions, I gotta admit. And the next one is the biggest one, and I'm going to close out. So please, if you're doing something right now, this is just my advice. Just kind of open your heart, open your mind, open your spirit, and please don't multitask. I know that we live in a society where we're all doing so many different things, but if you're really listening right. This is something we all back. Do you practice sin? We know that whoever is born of God sinneth not, but he that is begotten of God keepeth himself, and that wicked one touched him. 1 John chapter 5 verse 18. That was the first paragraph. Some of these are from like the King James version, and some of this stuff is kind of like that's why I like on the Bible app you can put an easy English, English or easy language setting, so I actually kind of understand it. I'm not saying it's not understandable, just sometimes